Good morning, good morning, good morning to everybody. So let's grab our coffees. Let's wait a few minutes. Today is a day where I want to do something different. It will go really quick because I want to go back to weeklies, but I can't drain myself, which I usually do with 2 or 3 hour readings. So I'm going to try to keep it under an hour. I don't want to affect our stuff, our game. I want this to still continue going. So let's start with the music. Let's grab the coffee, and let's see how it goes. Alrighty, see you soon. How's everybody, guys? I hope everybody was well. We still have a really hot weather here, but nights are getting chilly. It's getting there. And I don't know about you guys, but we had a couple of weeks of rain in the middle of the summer, and now we are inundated with mosquitoes. So even this last tail of nice weather, we cannot use it much, but it is what it is. How it is where you are, guys, let me know. Well, hello, hello, hello again. Happy Labor Day. So I guess let's enjoy it. If you have a cat, then you do know that every cat is taking his or her work very diligently. They're actually a hard worker. They work about 16 hours a day with very simple job description, sleep. But other than that, like I mean, they're even really willing to go overboard and help us really while we work, as you can see from my today choice of a photo. Alrighty, so here we are. I'm going to try to see if I can zoom in. I don't know, yesterday, the last time I tried it, but it kind of like didn't let me for some reason. So I'll give it a try again, just to see if it lets me. Because we are doing something different. I don't know if you came here in the very beginning. I'll repeat, just give me a second, and now it's just not, period, giving me anything. Must be open in some other window. Oh, there it is. There it is. Here we go, zoom. Oh, look at that. Only a little, it doesn't go too much, but I don't know if it's going to reflect when I do the readings, but we will see. So let me shift to you. Let's see who is here. My regular kitten crowd, awesome. Hello Barbie, Lynn, Knitting Yogi, and Kylie is here. What is it, like where is it, like 5 people? Well, it's okay, we can start. Do we guess now for the sign pulled from the pink sachet? So okay, so let's think through this. I guess your guys' guesses are good. No, it didn't really zoom on this screen. This is so weird, but it didn't. What would happen if let me see, if I zoom it on this screen, would it let me do it here? I just wonder. I highly doubt it, but I'll check it because it's just weird. Or actually, you know what? I can put it lower. That would resolve the problem instead of me messing here. Old-fashioned way. Is this the Pro Stream? I don't even know which one it is, but let's see. If I'm zooming in here, would it even react? Nope, nada. All right, let's do the old-fashioned way. Like this. That should do, right? So the plan is, guys, to do the reading under an hour, so that way I can do it every weekend, because really doing it very frequently just drained me, and this is why I stopped doing the monthly readings, because each reading was about 45 minutes that you have seen, but just if I end up with 45 minutes with me recording and processing and cutting it, it will be like 3-4 hours each video. So just multiply this by 12, so one entire week would just go to that, and then I had to catch up with the readings and all the urgents, and I was just getting more and more drained. So this works better for me, but you know, like we are still kind of like covering these messages. So this is the idea. The first sign, I always want to honor the birthday, which is like Virgo. So I always want to go with the first sign, or if it's in between, then 2 signs. But after that, yes. So whenever I start reading, you can guys start guessing, and that's how it should be done. Otherwise, we will not be moving very fast. So I want to start on a dot today, and I'm going to put the stamps. So there are a few things that I need to do in order to read it. So that's why, let's see if this can be done under the hour. So Virgo, let's start with Virgo. People, happy birthday, Virgo. Like this is going to be interesting season, guys. If you're not on, this is the next one that you can guess. Next one that you can guess. Which one do you want? Which one do you want? Let's grab this one, and it's going to be for your guesses later. And we are going to go, if I need to clarify, I'm only going to clarify if we get a really a bad card, because like, you know what, good news or no news, that's when news stations are not working on it. But if you have a bad card, in order for not to you be freaked out for for a week, I'm going to pull one more card from Radiant Tarot, and I'm also going to use Radiant for you can see that I'm a rather white person, and I guess it has to do with my first name, Bianca, but it has lots of messages, and that really helps. So, all right, let's go. This is going to be your answers as well. Switch the screen. You see how many things I need to do around, and let me do it. Virgo, birthday. That's right, your birthday is in 10 days, and she's going to be 29. So yay, happy birthday, Needing Yogi. And Barbie, please keep me online, just like snap a whip, like, I mean, you're like really good that way. So happy early birthday, Yogi. I really hope everything goes well. So because on the other side it's going to be belated. So let's see, Virgos, give me one card that can encompass what Virgos are going through. And please, everybody else, guess for the next one. You can get your own one card reading. So Virgos, oh, here you go. You got a card, and the card that you got is service, but it was reversed. So what are we seeing here? We are seeing this dude. I don't know if you can see him. Can you see him, or do you need the light? I'm afraid if I turn on the light, that it might be just a little bit too much of glare on it. So we see the horses. We see him taking taking a hat. I didn't really sleep well, but I am feeling rested, which is interesting because sometimes I do not. I sleep well, but I just don't get enough. Like, I mean, feeling of refreshment or whatever. So, original title of the Italian card, like in Vera Sibilla, is domestico, like domestic, kind of like servant, somebody who is handy in the house. So this card really represents a male person who provides help and service. It's about receiving help or offering help to others. It's about being well-mannered, and it's about also respectful and dutiful, right? I saw this movie, Gosford Park, and please don't watch this movie. It was like tweeted on the Prime as, oh, it's a great movie. I just like wanted to kill myself during the movie. It was like so boring. But the entire movie, instead of being the crime drama that I thought I'm going to watch, was basically a study on basically the classes and the servitude. So this man appears to be a footman, doorman, or a porter at a hotel or something like that. And like his posture is clearly kind of like servile, right? Which is kind of like typical for the men. So this is upright, a very positive card, and it's going to talk about help being available to the inquirer. But when it reverses, it suggests that help is not going to arrive. So you guys need to roll up your sleeves and do things yourself, because if you're expecting somebody to kind of like give you a hand, it's not going to happen, right? Also be careful with this card. There's like a warning that comes that it could be an enemy, that it comes disguised as a friend. So this is really, really important. Somebody who appears to be very helpful, but in reality, it's really harmful. So if you encounter anybody, that person is all sugar and sweet, but like you're feeling that tingle in your tummy, that something will happen, then just walk away. Just walk away. If you're like kind of like having somebody new in your life, like a love interest, that's not going to go anywhere. That person is there to take something from you, right? So keep in mind, this will be like a main page of swords in tarot, and that kind of like is where things would really work out. So let me just see, because I said negative card. Good morning, Chris. I am going to clarify. And you have the Empress. So You might be dealing with somebody who is in pursuit of his ideal woman, or it could be a couple where she is the one wearing the pants in the family, or it could be something about motherhood. This is a Venus principle, which is really important because we are now going through the Venus sun, with Virgo's sun, and Venus is really going to be catching up soon as well. If you guys are not on my newsletter, go on my website. On the bottom of my website, there is a sign up link. You're not going to be spammed. I just sent one after, I don't know, 7-8 months. So, and I didn't even read it, and I just sent it with all, all my spelling grammars and etc. But Virgo, this is like good. This man feels repressed by a woman. Maybe this is just simply a historical kind of like thing, and hence he is punishing all women. And so he opens the doors for you. He is all, because keep in mind, this, right? It could be like, for example, a man who dates women and sleeps with them, but just forgets to tell them, you know what, you're not my ideal woman. I would never kind of like consider anything like, strong with you. Like, it reminds me of my hairdresser who is gay and who is keeping himself for his perfect woman for some reason, even though he's not even into women. And he is just a little short guy, bald, not very attractive, but he has this like small tight t-shirts, right, that he wears. And do you know what his perfect woman is? Cindy Crawford, and he's saving himself for her. So that's kind of like reminds me of that type of a person, very unrealistic, very unrooted. And when Page of Swords reverses, like, that person can be also very rude. It's almost like, hey, like, like, you can ask questions. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? And person would just like rudely tell you off. So be very careful, because here is like, and I'm trying to move this to make it better. Here is somebody who is not having their act together. It's somebody who, let's call it, needs help. Kind of like be very, very aware of that. So Virgo, given that we are going through organizational period through your transit, this means that you also need to shed some people around that exist in your life. So do not make big moves, and do not continue with people who basically are not there for you. So be very careful of that. So did I narrow this back down, or I didn't? No, it didn't. So I'm not so sure. I'm just trying to see why is this so moved, but I'll try to put it back here. All right, so let me see who you guys guessed. Oh, so what happened with the Virgo thing here? It somehow disappeared. Pfft, weird. All right, so guys, let me see. The guesses are Pisces, Scorpio. Hi, Crystal. How are you seeing all this? Oh, there it is. Like, I'm like, where's Chris? Where's Crystal? Chris didn't show up. Here for a good time, but have other intentions. That's pretty much it. So we have just 2 guesses, guys. Anybody else throwing in the hat? By the time that I open it, I'll probably see the other one. Ooh, Knitting Yogi is on a roll. We have Aquarius. When the moon is in the 7th house. And Jupiter, blah, blah, blah. I don't know the lyrics anymore. This is the next one. Let me see. I am slow. This was too slow. Let's see who is next. But I'm going to do the Yogi card first. Watch out, the gingerbread woman. Well, let's see what it opened on. Like, it opened on 6 of Cups and on 2 of Wands reversed. So Yogi, 6 of Cups is the card that shows and says something, memories, kind of a thing. Something is triggering you. You're watching your old albums. You are getting phone calls from the past. You are just simply kind of like in that nostalgia, Mercury retrograde. And of course, Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. Did you not know that? We always look at Geminis because they go like a bouncing ball everywhere, right? But Virgo is like usually stoic and you don't, don't see them like flipping, but they're really affected. And this is like you reaching that final idea that this is no go. This is a no go. I don't want to go there. No me. No me. So you're kind of like coming to the completely touch with something that has to stay in the past, right? All right, so Aquarius, let's put your icon, guys. Aquarius, and what I have to put a timestamp. Lots of things, administrative things to do on my end. So let's do this. I tried to prepare everything, and I actually did a pretty good job, I have to say, for somebody who worked until, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning. Hi, Kelsey. So, favorite dimension. So, yes, guys, please like. So, I'm coming back to life after a 3-year hiatus. Like, this pandemic was really, really hard on me in each and every way. But I'm still not out yet, but at this stage, I'm seeing the like light at the end of the tunnel. How was the pandemic for you? So, Aquarius. Aquarius, I want one only. And we have house reversed over here. So, really interesting. It's really interesting because it's coming during the retrograde, right? And retrograde is all about, oh, don't go out. Like, I mean, the brick is going to fall on you. Like, all of these really weird things. And it is true. It does affect you. So, this generally upright would be positive card. It's responsibility, it's a self-reliance, right? But it's a very negative card when it reverses. It can talk about a breakdown in family relationships, quarrels, even broken dreams, right? So if you guys are having somebody who is a special one, it can really talk about like kind of like making this final walk away, because Mercury retrograde is famous for that. You either hook up back, you know, like sometimes relationships have like those ripples, as I call them, and it ripples, you realize, oh, I'll try it, will work, and then it breaks up sooner and sooner and sooner right after that. So this one is like one of those visits, nostalgia, and just to see it, but it's final kind of like dissolution time, right? Also, on the positive side, that can be a card that Aquarians are taking stock of their relationships, and even like, I mean, like even friendship, co-workers, everything, like what works for me, what doesn't work for me, and reassessing the domestic environment. It is something that has been happening for Aquarians back in May, during the month of May, that maybe was like, I mean, the sense of it, it kind of like peek its ugly head out. But the point is like here is to learn to feel secure in your surroundings and to kind of like feel stable and feel protected. So let's see here. Let's see here. And we have, interestingly enough, 5 of Swords reversed. And 5 of Swords is that dude who is the winner and who just wins at any cost. He just doesn't care how this makes somebody feel, and he's burning the bridges all the time. And it's basically telling me it is something about burned bridges. It is something, maybe a family member who is no longer there. Maybe there is a contact, maybe there is emergence, maybe there is a friend who is no longer there. Maybe it is making amends of some sort. But this was a big betrayal. This could indicate, for example, in a love relationship, a third party of some sort. So don't romanticize that. Let it go. Let it go. So that's enough with Aquarius. Are you guys guessing what is the next one? Was this Aquarius? Or that was Aquarius? We'll see when I reveal it. In any case, we are going with the guesses. I'm going to remove Aquarius here and just see if anybody wins. Do we have only one guess? You guys, I'm moving really fast this time, so And I know that I have a really big delay for some reason, so we will see. Coffee. It's my coffee with a special cat on it. So we have Capricorn. Capricorn. And hi Sally, good morning. Sally, I did share the news with the inner group. I'm not going to say it here unless you want to say. Just everybody has you in their thoughts, and I'm really hoping you get some messages here. Okay? So this is it. Like, I mean, you're getting the message that kind of like let the bygones be bygones. I guess that's what is needed over here to hear. So let me put the stamp for Capricorn. Okay, here. And put their little pretty fluffy sign. So there we go. And oops, that's what I did last time. I didn't realize that you can actually remove it this way. So Capricorn. 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 It's really good to see you, Sally. Oops. Capricorn. What do we have here for Capricorn? We have young woman over here. Well, now that's interesting because that's almost like a face card in it. Like, I mean, I really like that we see this fountain over here shooting out. It is like behind her back of some sort. I always, when I do this like grand tableau spreads for Gypsy, and oh boy, these are exhausting. If you really like Lenormand, like is exhausting. 3-hour reading is exhausting, but oh my God, Gypsy, like nothing like that, because you're feeling these emotions and these currents and everybody having an agenda. So I always felt this woman as somebody who, quote unquote, is innocent, but maybe not that innocent. You know what I mean, right? So she's like the damsel in distress. She's like the one who appeals, like literally the people who take advantage of the people, right? But somebody who also can be sweet mannered and polite, and nobody like today is that black and white anymore. Would you agree? So this card represents either a person or a situation. So if there is no such person like in your life, this could be your daughter, it can be your friend as well, right? But it represents enthusiasm, somebody who is like really, yeah. And so it can kind of like talk about like something not being mature to grow kind of a thing, right? So it can really talk about something about the fate. So if you guys are looking, maybe this is going to become you. Maybe like, you know, when we get into flirtatious mode, we put our best foot forward and then later go, okay, I have to show you who really I am. And you know, you bare the teeth kind of a thing, right? So but this also can be very positive. If this is you and you're flirting, or you're flirting with a person, you're flirting with a new job, that could really mean that it might mature into something really beautiful and long lasting, right? It's somebody who is really eager to put an effort in it, right? Or job, it could be like a successful kind of like result, etc. But it's also like what I like about the card is the card of vitality. So that is kind of like where this really fits really nicely. Alrighty, we are moving on. We have the next one, and your guess is throwing your hats in, guys. Should probably leave it down here, and so we can see the next card. Oh, I'm pressing the wrong buttons here. So the next card is, next card. Yeah, Sally's mom has kind of passed, and she lived a long life, and we really hope that Sally finds peace in that like peaceful passing. And you know, Sally, that we love you. This is like your family here as well, so just come and step and see us. So let me see, we have Libra, Taurus, Aries, Libra. I didn't have a Leo. Let's see on the screen if you're still throwing in your hat by the time I show up here. And I'm going to put a stamp here, Leo. Yeah, I can see how my ascendant is changing. Like, it was the last thing that looks like is changing for me. But it was slower. But now I'm seeing how it went from Libra to Leo. Sometimes I'm too proud. And that's the problem, because I already had Moon in Leo. And which is kind of like messed my emotions. But now it's double whammy kind of a thing. Oops, I put the wrong one here. All right, Leo, let's see what is going on here. Leo, 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 Leo. I think, Sally, we were just talking about you, and then Leo came through. Like, this is probably not a coincidence. Sally is a Leo. And you're getting a kitty cat reversed, and the card is called falseness, right? So, really, like, you don't want to hear my sentiments. Somebody's like making a cat and a bad person here, but we do know how cats are really picky with their choices and who they choose and who they let in their life. Upright, this is a negative card. Remember, it came for you reversed, because reversed one, this card is removing the things that you have been burdened. So the truth is coming out, secrets are revealed, and if you have any deceptions or that you feel there are like some unknowns, that's going to be uncovered. So I really think if there was any jealousy or gossip, anything like that, that's just going to cease to exist. No more a factor, right? Maybe like it's the final clarity that you really wanted to have and wanted to get, right? So it is very, very important to understand this card, because when this card shows up, this is telling me that Inquirer, I think they call them querent in the reading world, always had some kind of like fog or doubts that something is not fully straightforward, that there are lies or there are opportunism, kind of like all the glitters is not gold, somebody's too shiny for their own good. So for the health, I would say kind of like check something. You know that I don't do health reading, but that can indicate some heart murmur, some issues. So on that level, I would just really be very, very diligent. And since this is actually a positive card, there is like no extra for you. And I really hope you guys check your health just to catch kind of like things in time. Alrighty, are you guys guessing the next? I have to move really, really quick this time around and see where how basically we do with all of these things. So the next one is nobody. Okay, I'll open it by the time you see it. I see Cancer here. Hello, creative girl, how are you? We have a tiny little bit different format. Oh my gosh, Barbie. Oh, yay, yay. Because I already like opened it and then I saw just Barbie, but it's not open on screen. So, well, we have two hats, and Barbie got this thing. So let me see, Barbie. What messages Barbie needs to hear today? Oh, Kelsey, you got it too. Sorry. Oh, Barbie, there are some messages, something really, really fast going on. So this is like where Mercury retrograde is really good. If somebody's dragging their feet and you're just trying to get something, and yet they're not on your level, they're above you, so you cannot tell them to F off, or just they just kind of like do this. Like, right, finally something is arriving, something really good, something that you're going to love to hear. So this is really, really good message, right? So that's freaking awesome. And Kelsey, oh my gosh, guys. Yes, Kelsey. Oh, this one wanted to come out for you. Kelsey, like you will be facing some decision. Like this card is really kind of like, just think about these swords. Most people just see the card, don't really process it. I once took Tai Chi sword form, and it was one class because they had real swords, not the baby swords. And real swords is about 20 pounds. This was like, no way I would be handling 20 pounds for a freaking hour and a half and kill myself or somebody else. They were not sharp, but nonetheless. So these are two really, really heavy swords. It's really, really hard to hold them. And the pressure is here in between her heart and throat chakra. She's completely closed with her heart. She wants to make a neutral decision, yet your heart wants something else. So this is really important to just like think through. The blindfold is really important here because it's forcing you to kind of process things internally. The water signals this emotion. That emotion is overwhelming, and you're trying to pull yourself out of that emotional pull and reach a decision. But yet, the blindfold is telling you you need to go inside. So it's kind of a proverbial decision between your head and your heart. So I guess when you find yourself in that situation, something is really, really hard, and talks about kind of like something being in between. So let's put the stamp, and let's put the Cancer here first, and then I'll put the stamp. Where are we? Hello, Alex. Hello. Let's see if he's going to climb up here and show up. There he is. Hello. Hello, mister. Hello. Cancer. You're welcome, Kelsey. Oh my gosh, swords are so heavy. Like these people in the Middle Ages that like they're walking in that metal. Like it's just like so bizarre, really, when you're gonna realize it. Yes, creative girl. Like you have to check Barbie's post. She's really good with tracking. Barbie, if you can, like, I know it's asking a lot, but like just summarize every sign and so that we know where we are. Ooh, Cancer, you have altiness. This is kind of a really interesting card. It for me shows up usually in the readings where somebody's dealing with narcissism, right? So this may be you being a little bit unrealistic, or it could be that you're dealing with somebody else. It can be simple as pride. It could be something as high as arrogance or vanity, right? Or showing off, right? So it's a peacock over here with a beautiful fantail, but you don't go to the zoo to see peacock dragging his tail on the ground. And that must be really difficult because it rubs on the ground, right? It's kind of like something that it kind of like really needs to open. That's what I'm saying. It has this really range. It's not really kind of like as clear as it is. It's describing also a personal situation or even behavior that is influenced by an excess pride or lack of humility. And it's becoming really normal for us in this century to brag about ourselves. It's almost like expected when you need to get a job or anything like that. So cancers are usually emotional, they process, but they're like really shrewd business people. And they're guided by their gut feeling. However, their gut feeling is not necessarily the reality over there. So maybe this is where the clash can happen, right? So this is a little bit of a warning against being charmed by pride. Sometimes it happens that we are blinded to our surroundings or reality of the situation, or that we are just not processing person properly because they put this like good act on, right? So I would say, guys, that if you're like in a dating game, that you will be like really admired by many suitors. Maybe new loves will come and knock on your door, but pride can cause relationships to fail. It's better to be more vulnerable and get somebody real. Same thing for the work. You might be noticed, and successful interview or new job is very, very possible, right? This really talks also about high energy and something that really, really goes and really works. So keep in mind, like when this card comes, we are talking about balance, and that balance has to be very, very much assessed, because just one step in that direction, you're going to look really bad and fall on your face, or there is somebody else. So we are going to see that. Yeah, kitty tail. My kittens were 6 months old yesterday, and they're like getting big. He is like twice as heavy as she is, but kind of like they're similar in size. So we're going to see how they develop. Alrighty, guys, are you guessing for the next? I'm going to remove it. I don't know. I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm a little bit slacking on time, but I have to. I don't want to speed it up. So we will see how much it really turns out. If it's 15 minutes over, this is not a bad thing, even though I would like it ideally to be less. So we have Pisces. Pisces. I'm going to put the next one. All right. Let's see. While I'm doing this, you're waiting the weirdo thing. All right. Did anybody guess? I don't think so, but I'm going to wait another second. Did I even open it on the screen? I don't even know if I did. No. All right, Pisces, this one wants to come out. And we have Journey Reverse. So my dear Pisces, Mercury retrograde, here we come. It was a reverse card. Keep this in mind, right? Journey is like a rider in Lenormand. It is like something that needs to, like, it's reminding us to move forward. So hence reversed, it's kind of like suggesting some kind of like failure to lunch, or failure of a trip, or cancel vacation, or it's even telling you there's something that will come up, you need to avoid it, kind of a thing. It could be just something simple as a missed appointment, or you're expecting something to arrive and it's not arriving, right? For me, for example, this card came through and I didn't know for the world of me what it meant once, because I didn't expect to travel anywhere. And it basically, it was the car part that I ordered via eBay. It never arrived. It went as far for the vendor to claim they sent it, even though it was never sent. And then just to save themselves from eBay, they sent an envelope, the claim that this is like a car part. It's was my last purchase on eBay. Will never purchase from eBay anymore. So this, keep in mind, it can be a lack of momentum as well, or it can be a reluctance to meet new people. Are you maybe getting too set in your own ways? Yeah, we got the little black foots going on. Are you maybe reluctant to meet new people? Are you reluctant to visit new places? Because this is really telling you, hello, wake up, you need to do that. If you're like more or less focused here and want to get the message for your work and business, then it could be a project that is somehow stagnant and boring, or that maybe promotion is not coming at this time. So keep this in mind. I'm going to pull another card here, and here we're getting Magician, and it's also one, it's almost like a rider, which is really interesting because it tells you anything can be done. Anything can be done as well. You don't need to focus on the negative things. So why don't you just figure out what is a better solution for you? And if you really have to be in a situation where you are, then just do it. You are the magician. You can just do it. You can swing it, and it's not going to be something that is going to be taken against you. Alrighty, messieurs and madames, I'm going to put the next stamp, and we're going to do our door. So you think of the question that you have, and I'm going to close this. Let me just put my stamps here, and I'll close it here for you so I can shuffle. I'm going to just shuffle a little bit. So the door 1 is out, the door 2, and I've seen the door 1, so I cannot guess it myself, but the 3 cards are on the table over here, and I'm going to start the door number 1. If you were a lucky one and guessed this card that I have seen, you're getting the Fool. She's telling you, do not debate anymore, just go for it. Something that looks like non-doable or not feasible is going to end up being okay and working out. So just be courageous and take this first step. Maybe you like somebody, but you're just like waiting for him or her to make this first situation, and it's vice versa. So just go for it, right? Just do it, kind of a thing, right? Number 2 is death. There's going to be a shift, significant shift in energy, significant shit. So Freudian slip, it's right there. So it's going to be a shit you need to clean. Let's put it really plainly. So death is really interesting card because like some people are just like looking away in horror from the situation, where others are welcoming it because they understand it's an opportunity. So it's a situation, let's say when you're fired and you're like, oh my God, what will I do? I need money. I need to go forward. But it gives a lovely opportunity to explore other things that may be making more money or getting more freedom or something like that. In any case, this is not kind of like a finite card. It's not kind of like the card with ending like the death sounds. It's actually a card that is in progress, which means that something needs to stop in order for something else to open. So you need to be on a positive side and think, well, what is it really that I'm neglecting? What is it I need to open? And shift yourself in that welcoming that opportunity. And the card number 3. Ooh, who are the threes? You guys are on the Mercury retrogrades. You're going to have something from the past coming up, reassessing things. Maybe like going through a little nostalgia. Oh, I wish, I was there. It's so weird. Like I was on Facebook and somebody posted a picture and I was saying, oh my God, this is my best friend. And oh my God, it was like, it's a 40, like it was a kindergarten, and I recognized her and I said, is this you? She goes, where did you get this photo? It's so weird. This is how Mercury retrograde works. It could be something like that, or finding the old shawl or something. It can be nostalgia, it can be reminiscing, you can be weepy, but this is really good because we need to have that space in our lives in order to move forward. And I still have the Pisces, which I didn't remove over there, so let me remove that. So do we have 6. So this is the next one, guys. Guesses. Your guesses are welcome. So we can put the sign here. Do we have Sagittarius? Whoa, did dealership just blow up my engine? Oh my God, Barbie. What a mess. So we have a Scorpio is next. Mysterious Scorpio. I had a dream now, I just remembered. And this guy was a Scorpio, and in my dream I was like scratching my head. Oh, do I even want to go there? That's all I can remember right now, right? So, what was it? Which one was it? Oh, what's this? Scorpio. Oh, that's the next one. I fell asleep at 5:30 this morning and woke up an hour before the live, which is, for me, life is noon, so it just goes to show. Please tolerate me today. Lights, let me see. Scorpio. Timestamp. And this works better because I can just copy paste when I finish the reading. Otherwise, I had to go through this entire process of how do I get there. And of course, I didn't put your. I did. It's so confusing. On one screen it is there, on another one it isn't. Thank you, Creative Quarter. This really helps. Never want to go there with Scorpio. They're very sexy, but they always give me the sorry Scorpios, like a man, like also female and male is not the same. They always give me the stalker kind of like attitude. I was flirting for a long time. It was my long Tinder date, like which lasted like almost year and a half with somebody, like daily, a Scorpio. He was sent a photo of him, very handsome guy, photo of him all in dark, just like you can see his glasses. I said, "What's up, sweetie? You forgot to pay your electricity." It's like Aquarian, and he wanted to be mysterious and sexy, and it just doesn't work for me. So we have here letter, lettre, as they would say in French. So, but it's reversed. So I don't know if this is a bill because, like, remember these cards are done before the smartphones, but first thing that came to my mind was some kind of bill. After all, we are kind of getting into that Mercury retrograde. Maybe you're waiting for something to come back and to come kind of forward. The letter also is usually indicator of a new opportunity and challenge, but when is reversed, it can talk about miscommunication. So this, which one is this? A Scorpio. You guys are going to suffer from a major cases of miscommunication. Sorry to tell you, but you have heard there. So it could be a document that is not coming. It's not late. You're expecting to hear from somebody, and everything is going on in your head. You're a fixed sign, like I am Aquarius. And when we have fixed signs, we have a really fixed way of dealing with things. And it's like, okay, this is like what I would do, and you must be doing the same way, because you cannot expect that other people are fickle, or that they're like doing things half-asses, or they're doing it halfway. It's just like weird, right? So that's why it's warning you not to jump to judgment, kind of a thing, right? So it could be also that somebody's words cannot be trusted if you really wish, but this actually doesn't suggest either bad or good news. It's just like it's not going to arrive as expected. And that's really important because, for example, if you are expecting bad news, it is suggesting it's not going to come. But it also can indicate that, I guess, you failed to reach out and someone is waiting for you to write. And you can be like kind of like controlling that way. So keep this in mind. That will be that Two of Swords, kind of like a card reversed. That's kind of like what we are really talking about here, Scorpio. So this is a neutral card. You're not getting any clarification here because you need to kind of like go in the situation and figure it out yourself. Let's go next. Next. Guys, please throw in your hats and let's see what it is. And I'm going to, in the meantime, put the new one out. We have Gemini here. Ironically, Scorpio is my North Node. So that means, let me see what is the opposite, Taurus. In your past life, you were all about real estate. You were all about, enjoyment of the food, and you totally kind of like are not interested in any of that in this life. It's kind of like, okay, I've been there, done that. But the Scorpio North Node is telling you now you need to explore very, very kind of like mundane kind of like things. So plunge emotionally, which is weird. You were born as a Sagittarius. All right. We have Libra. What's up, Tiger? He's coughing there a little bit. Libra. Do we have any Libras by the time I get here? I might see somebody doing it, but that's Barbie. That would be happy birthday to Barbie. Let me see. Timestamps 52:37. And let's do it. Libra. Libra. This one wants to go. Ooh, young woman. Did they not kind of like speak to somebody about it? That's also a neutral card. It can talk about us needing to reach certain maturity. So you put on milk to boil, but it's not boiled yet. So you're not dealing with consequences. You're dealing with a process. But the process can go bad if it's not being overseen. And that's clearly what the card talks about. It's either we are missing a maturity in something. So it doesn't have to be a young woman or your daughter or a friend or a rival. It can simply talk about a situation that is ongoing, that should be ongoing, that they can kind of like go in a certain kind of like process. And we know, Barbie, in your case, what this is all about. Something is, unfortunately, maybe it's a person who is like dragging it back, but something is here in the process. Usually this talks about something that can evolve, that can kind of like excuse me, hiccups, that's going to end well. Somebody on the other side is like visiting us. So it could be flirtation. It's kind of like trying to make a good impression. This is like when you're 20, like every single hair matters. Oh my god, I spent so much time in a bathroom and like I had like perfect freaking face, everything tight. Now, nothing. It's just kind of like, oh, I forgot to comb my hair. Meh, nah, that's okay, kind of a thing. So appearances are very important, so keep this in mind. Really important to remember. So Crystal, you're a little bit late with Libra, I think, right? Now you know why winning 50 million lotto is way too much for the Sagittarius. Yeah, I guess. You can just give it to me. I just really suggest if you really get into that situation, there are people who can take it. So guys, how are you doing with time? Oh my gosh, I think we are sort of like okay. So what is next? What is next? I'm checking this one out and I'm putting the next one here. So I'm going to be shuffling this. I'm so excited for the future. Ah, nice Barbie, lovely. I would like to, oh my God, I played lottery and I don't know where I put it. It was in my bag and I lost it. Jeez, I threw it in the garbage. Imagine it was 50 million. Imagine if I threw it in the garbage like that. Oh my freaking God. Oh, this came out for this. So we will see what it is. We are having guesses. And Virgo was already read, so we are still running with the next one. We are doing Aries. Aries. And, ooh, there's going to be some legalese. I don't know, was the Capricorn red? Was the Capricorn red? I don't know, what was it? I think it was, yeah. Capricorn, I'm going to tell him, let him just put here 5630. 3525. What is this? Which sign is this? Aries. Okay. Fluffy Aries. And let's go back here. So, Aries, you are dealing with some legal stuff, whether this is marriage or contract or something. The priest at this time was the voice of morality, but it was also voice of a scholar, somebody who did have know-how to do it. Interestingly, just last week I went to a nearby museum which was showing a guy who was highly Christian and wanting to train everybody in Catholicism, and yet when you see his deed, there is like les personnes inconnues, which is unknown person, which they're stipulating it was out of the wedlock child, which at least he gave the child the equal amount of a deed. But isn't this amazing? Kind of like one part of the brain is this way, you see your image of that, but another part of the brain is like blah, kind of a thing. So it's something like that. It's could be a confession of some sort. It could be some regulations and decisions, something like that, right? It's a neutral card. It also indicates the presence of the sacred, and Aries is like really the wild child. Like this is almost like hearing a mother or father like coming and kind of like cautioning you. It's just like whatever kind of a thing. This is like the huge energy of Aries, but the focus is still not there, right? Because this kind of like really reminds us to think about our conscience and reminds us of our personal responsibility. Sometimes it's really easy to brush something under the carpet as if, oh, I don't care, he deserved it, she deserved it, or something like that. But, you know, as a team, it can really talk about this is going to come up, this is going to come up, your karma is suffering kind of a thing, right? So it's also like very similar to Aries in a way that is talking about youth and inexperience. So it could be inheritance, it can be something like that that maybe you need to kind of consult somebody how to proceed. Maybe it can be difficulties at work due to your quote-unquote sins, or it can be judgment of some sort, or you might be judged, or you are judging somebody, so it can go both ways. Also, guys, calling the priest. The church is full of sick people, right? You go there for the hope. Keep this in mind. This can actually play a role there as well. Check your health. And I would say make an honest assessment of recent actions and thoughts and choose the right moral or something that is just as a result. And this is going to really work well for you in that situation. So, my dear Aries, that was you. It just like feels when I'm on this rhythm that everything goes so freaking fast, but you're still kind of like moving this forward. So let me see who is next, guys. Do you have any guesses here? Any guesses? Any guesses? I'm going to shuffle this a bit. Well, you're guessing Gemini. And where we are with guesses? Oh, I think this is the last guess. After that, it will be just too easy. So we're going to have, I hope, winners. Winners. So let's do it. Let's do it. We have Barbie. Barbie's on the roll. We have Gemini. And Barbie won. Okay, Barbie. Barbie, Barbie, Barbie. Barbie, this one really wants to come out. Ooh. Tower reversed. Oof. Ooh, I actually have goosebumps right now. Not a good card. But when it's reversed, it's way worse, but you don't feel it. That's the bad thing about Tower. It's kind of like your husband is cheating on you, and everybody knows, but nobody's telling you. Everybody's being very sweet to you. So when you find out, you feel like way more worse than you would if there's just a shock, and then people see your shock and people sympathize for you. You're a victim. Otherwise, you're just a laughing stock. That's the problem with the Tower. But in either way, it gives you opportunity to reclarify, to clear the situation. It's something that is coming, you know, from, like, there's the expression in creation that says, like, from the clear skies has come to your ribs. Meaning, like, it really shakes you up. You're all out of balance. You're all kind of, like, falling apart as a result. So Tower always indicates and tells that will be different layers of people affected. So that's why it tells me maybe that the family has one member who is more advanced, more richer than the other one. But the situation is equally affecting the both. And it doesn't have to be financial, it can be anything. Something that is basically talking about this karmic shift. So usually if you do my karma reading, I tell you you have like these 4 major shifts in your life. You have many ones, but this can be one of those major ones. And these major shifts, you kind of like set the path for how to move forward. When this reverses, this is still happening, but you're not willing to look at it. You're not willing to see it. You're ignoring it. Like you're seeing there is like the end of the road and the freaking, like, I mean, the earth open and you shouldn't proceed, but you're not pressing the gas pedal. That's what it means. So Barbie, extra careful. Just treat the situation as you need to open 4 eyes. You need to kind of like really be careful because something is happening and you might not realize it until it's too late. So just be very suspicious. That's just my advice. So Gemini, let's put your thingy here. Gemini. And you guys, Geminis, are getting affected with the upcoming things. So it's not going to be very fun for you, but it is what it is, right? So let me see. Gemini. It's rarely that we see you like in the second part, right, of the reading. I think this is... Where is this? Okay. Let's go. Let's see, Gemini. What do we see here for you? I better keep it open. Like when I'm tired like this, just remember which one was the last. My memory, short memory is gone. Gemini. Oh, this one. Ooh, despair. Oh, I don't like this card, and I'm just trying to see if something other than meaning of this card is coming to me. And let's do this because this is a little bit of depression. Don't do rash decisions, guys. Yeah, look at this, doubling down, like two, telling the basically the same thing. So what are we seeing here? Really interesting situation. First of all, checkerboards are never coincidence. Somebody just didn't decide to paint a checkerboard. This is like all filled with archetypes over there. Checkerboards talks about black and white, right? And he's standing with one foot on the dark, one foot on the light. So he is in between these two choices, which feels like, I don't know which one to want. But look, the chairs are all, I don't know if you're noticing, they're all on the dark spots. Most people would miss this, but now you'll be able to say, look, I've noticed this, which means this is that moment of despair. This is that moment where he is not in the right mind to create the right decision. So he is not playing with a full deck. And it usually happens to me when I'm really angry, when I want to murder the customer service person I was just talking to, where something would take 5 minutes but it takes me freaking 5 hours because somebody is just being stupid, obnoxious, or whatever, insert something. But something is driving here you to the edge, right? So it can be disgraceful kind of like situation. It can be feeling betrayed or humiliated, or some scandals, misfortune, right? But it can be something that results in bitterness and mistrust, right? You're air sign. You tend to, like, you're literally butterfly or a bee or a wasp, whatever, like depending on a day, right? And you're moving really, really quickly. Like life is short. Like there are so many experiences to acquire, right? So with that, you need to have a certain amount of lightness to be able to move forward, right? And hence when somebody just captures you, and like it's almost like touching the butterfly, oh how pretty it is, like you killed it because you removed that kind of like coat from his wings. So this ultimately, I believe, is rooted in understanding of destructive capacity of jealousy, and that can lead to despair, because the original card was called Jealousía, right? So this is gypsy cards that are modifications of Vera Sibilla kind of a thing. So in the extreme, like, I mean, it's getting to this deep depression of lost the will to live. But what is really cute, he's holding himself on a chair not to fall and injure himself while he's willing to kill. So you can tell that this is not really who this person is, right? So you need to kind of like deal with that persecution complex, or maybe fear of being betrayed, or fear of not being loved. You need to face your own demons. It is what it is. I am this way. These are my minuses. These are my pluses. Maybe you're feeling uncomfortable of how you look on the outside, but then you're completely neglecting to understand that you're still a person inside that other people you need to reveal, right? So if you're revealing somebody who is depressed, people will naturally try to stay away from you. So you guys need to prepare for a difficult time. This Mercury retrograde, you need to buckle up. But you do not make sure you don't project your fears or obsessions, because that's how universe works. You need to start feeling things yourself first in order for things to come back. You cannot send a resume and say, oh, I just need to submit X amount of resumes. You need to first feel it, and you need to see yourself in that position, and then you engage basically the destiny, and you keep that momentum and energy going, and that's how you hear from them. So this is telling me that, yeah, it's going to be some injury. That's without a doubt. But this is a strong warrior. You have a strong will to continue and to fight forward. However, you are at this stage getting a lesson. You're learning this lesson, and you're saying to yourself, you know what, I can try, but only one more time. So you're limiting how much of foolishness you're really willing to take. So that is really, really important, right? So that's kind of thing. So let's see. Oh, Saint Gerard is here. Hi. Hope that you're okay. We are doing these things a little bit different today. So I didn't pull the sign because we are not guessing anymore. So let's see who is next. I need to remove this buddy here. So who is left? Sagittarius. And which one is going to be the last one? Is going to be Taurus, the last one. Okay. So let's see Sagittarius. Put the timestamp. Timestamp is what? Hi, Tiger. Hi. You don't want to sleep? It's too hot to go out until later. Okay, so let's do this. So, geez, let's see what do we have here for you. Sagis. I hope so. There we go. Well, we have a conversation. Look at this. All of these people sitting and talking, but it clearly shows the dynamic, right? We see that feminine principle here. We see a person almost like handmaid tale kind of coming through it, but this is actually a positive card, and it's really up your alley, like Sagittarius and conversation, because remember, Sagittarius is the opposite of Gemini. So Gemini is affected with Mercury retrograde, teeter totter. Sagittarius it's the same freaking axis, right? So this is a dialogue, it's discussion, communication, community, exchange of some kind of like information, clarification. Maybe you're going to give, or maybe you're going to receive apologies, right? Pros and cons of a situation. So this young woman here is sitting outdoors, and she's clearly talking to a group of friends, and it almost like kind of like looks like that this one with the hand showing, it shows like that she is actually the one speaking, and the other ones are really attentive and interested. But all figures appear to be very happy. What is really interesting to me, that every single one shows in a different color over here. So everybody has their own attitude, everybody has their own agenda, but nonetheless they're gathering together and they're giving each other that different perspectives. So I really think this is kind of like indicating some favorable moments with respect to life and friendships and relationships, right? So maybe this card foreshadows a meeting of some sort, or gathering that will take place. But if this happens, it's going to be some exchange, the key word exchange, and it's really important to kind of like look at that way. So it suggests also that you will be heard. Maybe you're feeling that your words don't have a value, that other people, maybe you don't want to raise your voice or something, but this is actually intimate and affectionate dialogue. So if it comes with, let's say, family, it can be some kind of announcement or birth, pregnancy, engagement, or some kind of like promises. And family ties will be very strong in this period. For work, it can, you can maybe be seen for a brilliant person that you are, and kind of like share new ideas and new projects, etc., like that, right? So this talks also psychologically that you're taking your mental health being very seriously. Maybe you're talking to somebody about that, so just keep this in mind. So this would be the Ace of Cups card in tarot, just to put it in perspective. It is something that is like really nourishing. It is something that you are opening, maybe a part of yourself that was previously closed. So hopefully that really works well. Like, it's one of the more positive readings. So Sagittarius, even though like the exchange is happening everywhere, looks like you're kind of like clearing anything that has been going on. So let me see the last stamp before the last doors. Taurus. Let's see what we have. I had yesterday 15 phone calls from my Taurus. It was just like, oh my god, like when he called me at 11 at night, did we not speak 15 times already? Oh, I'm sorry. I was really rude, but I just cannot take it anymore. All right, so, and I'm not exaggerating. This is exactly what happened. 16 calls. So let's do this. Taurus. And service, but this time is up. So Chris is rising Taurus, but Chris is not here today, isn't he? He missed our date. So I think that was Virgo. Was it Virgo that got the service reversed? So that's kind of like interesting, because they're like now two earth signs that are kind of coming into that needing to kind of like flow. And we are going through Virgo transition. Let's not forget that. So this is literally now receiving help or offering help. It's about being really well mannered, being dutiful, right? So again, like what I said, like this is looks like somebody who is servant, but who is like domestico, as the original card would be called. And it is like somebody who is going to be available and available to help. And help comes from somebody who provides service because they're really loyal and they're devoted, or I don't know, caring. But also this person could be helping because it's their job to do so. So if you need to kind of like get certain things done, or from somebody, that can really indicate that, right? So it's not only self-interest, but they kind of like have to do it. So I would also say this can represent the work in some cases, and that work has to be really looked upon, that you look at the details because somebody is watching and assessing you, but ultimately you're going to do a good job, and you have been forewarned. I would also say that your feelings are not wrong, even though maybe you don't know the motives of the other person. You're suspecting that, let's say, partner is not supportive here, right? Because you need to support somebody here by opening the door and holding somebody to come out. You just need to really listen to your intuition, and do not trust blindly people who work with you, for you, above you. You need to listen more, right? It's going to be maybe some kind of like stage with contracts and documentation that needs to be cleared. So ultimately, my dear Taurus, accept help with gratitude while being very mindful of the motivations of the person who is doing that for you. And we have doors to finish. So guys, what did you think? What did you think about this, like really, really fast? I was not chit-chatting as usual, but I think we somehow did it pretty well. I could have been a little bit more effective, but anyhow, let's close this down. 116.20. What are we just getting here? All right, let me just put a timestamp. All right, let's shuffle. I'm going to close this, so if something comes up, you don't really know what it is. Onyx is looking out. It's pondering the meaning of life. He has a thick, thick tail. And he likes his jewelry, his collar. He's so ghetto. It's so lovely. Okay, let's do the cuts. First cut, second cut, and the third cut. And let's see what we get and what you guys guessed. Do they have any coffee here? Let's do the coffee. Kelsey, I did Sagittarius. It was just now. If you go back to 109.19, that's where you're going to find Sagittarius here. So let me start with numero uno. And number one is Page of Wands. So yes, your wish is coming through rapidly. Like maybe the phone is ringing already within the next hour. Like, okay, maybe not like an hour, within a day. Something really, really quick is going to happen, or at least the path is going to show up, because this Page of Wands is like a Speedy Gonzalez, like flash kind of a thing. So this is a yes, but it's maybe not something lasting, but that's all you need. Like the door is open. The door number two, you have Six of Wands. This is still a win when it's reversed. It's not something that exciting. Maybe you're like expecting excitement or accolades, or like there's a feeling that you're attaching to this wish, and that feeling is not going to come. But the process is still going to happen, and you're still going to eventually get there. So that is really important to know. Or it's not going to happen in a way that you are hoping to happen. You will need to modify it. And the number three is Eight of Cups reversed. So maybe somebody walked away on you and it's coming back. Maybe you were looking for something specific and now you're realizing, you know what, I had everything I needed in the first place, and you're returning. This is very much Mercury retrograde, going back to finish loose ends. Could be people from the past jumping up and assessing. So this is neither yes nor no. It's just telling you you need to redo something. This is kind of like being involved. If you need to be involved, or your question was being involved with somebody from the past, then the answer would be yes. If your question was simply anticipating something from the future, then it's telling you you need to look for the answers of that future somewhere in the past. So guys, tell me, what did you think about this like quick format? Because I was hoping to do this really quickly. I probably have to figure out maybe if somebody else can track the timestamps, so I don't have to have this extra steps and I can just copy paste and put it on. That would really help. Other than that, I think that was holding me back with all this administrative stuff, but we did it okay. I think we are still on time. Number 3 is a payday, September 12th. Okay, all right. So, guys, again, just keep it in mind, like it's something that is going to happen whether or not you want it. So, guys, happy birthday to Knitting Yogi. That is coming up. Sally, our thoughts are with you. We are there for you. We love you. I love you all, guys. And we are going to see each other next week. And it's going to be the same quick reading. I might pick Lenormand cards next time. I don't know. I'm not hearing any comment from anybody. So I'm just going to do what I want since you're not communicating. And I'm really open for the communication. Ooh, Barbie, 1111, and here is 1-1. That's interesting. So, until the next time, guys, I wish you all the best, and you know that I love you. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.